2. "Ooh, that's a heavy one, hon," said Mrs. Barrett, swiveling in her tall seat to stare over the post office counter. Behind her, she had hung a Wildcats banner to remind everyone about Friday's opening game, as if they needed reminding. "I know," said Maggie, heaving the package onto the postal scale. "I carried it." "And practically dropped it," reminded her father unhelpfully. "Hush," whispered Maggie, annoyed. "What, sweetie?" asked Mrs. Barrett. "Nothing." She scooped up the unruly mess of curly blonde hair that exploded from her head and whipped it into a messy knot. Without a hair clip, the whole thing would come undone within a minute. Oh well. "Your mom's not taking you to school today?" Mrs. Barrett glanced toward the post office window as if she expected to see Maggie's mother, standing alone out there peering in. The implied criticism of her mother managed to both annoy and sting Maggie at the same time. "No," she said quickly. She was already reaching into her pocket for the money, wishing she could steer the conversation away from her mother. Away, away, away. "I haven't seen her in ages. Now, when I went to O said Mrs. Barrett, slowly tapping away on her computer keyboard, "I always—" "Mrs. Barrett," said Maggie, trying not to let total panic overtake her as she looked at the cold face of the clock on the wall. "I'm super late. Can I just leave money in the package and then we'll figure it all out later?" The smile disappeared from Mrs. Barrett's face. "No, dear. Perhaps if your mother had gotten you up earlier this morning, you wouldn't be in such a hurry now." She turned her attention back to her keyboard, murmuring, "I still can't believe they're tearing the old school down." It was true that the Odawahaka Middle School was scheduled to be demolished. As the population of the town dwindled, the decrepit building had become too expensive to keep up. But neither the newer elementary school nor the high school could absorb students all at once, so the plan was to peel each grade off 1 year at a time. The 8th graders had been the first to go, followed by the 5th graders and then the 7th graders. This year, only the 6th graders would be left to rattle through the halls of the mouse-infested school. A wrecking ball would reduce it to rubble once they moved on. Mrs. Barrett continued to cluck as Maggie stifled an audible groan. "All the way to Texas," said the postal clerk, punching the zip code into her keyboard. My, that family of yours." And there was more than a hint of disapproval in her voice. "You do send packages all over, don't you?" This kind of neighborly interest was just one of the many terrible things about living in a town as small as Odawahaka, and just one of the many, many reasons Maggie couldn't wait to get out. Mrs. Barrett stared at her. $31.53. It'll get there by Friday." Maggie pushed $32 across the counter and said, "Keep the change, I'm late." Then she ran for the door. Odawahaka Middle School was just 8 blocks away and all downhill, but the first bell would ring any minute, and Maggie would have to run the whole way. Her careful plan had been to get to school early, and now she would hardly make it there before the beginning of homeroom. "I can't keep the change," called Mrs. Barrett after her. "It messes up my cashing out." But Maggie was gone and flying down the hill, her wild hair bursting out of its makeshift bun and streaming like tightly curled yellow party ribbons behind her. Flying past Quinn, past Maine, past Klein and South, all the streets she had known her entire life, flying into her future, but also to the school that held the memories of her family's past and everything that had gone wrong. Maggie couldn't wait for it to be demolished.